We have a loaded show coming your way. The Warriors are playing near flawless basketball against some of the top teams in the NBA. Klay Thompson's return right around the corner. Who goes to the bench if he goes into the starting lineup? And could it be Jordan Poole? But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel. The Golden State Warriors boosting the #1 record in the NBA. NBA trade deadline coming up in a little more than a month. We have you covered with everything going down with this basketball team. So hit that red subscribe button down below and let's start today's show. Welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. I hope all of your weeks are off to a great start. And the Warriors right now playing great basketball on an absolute roll with a couple of really nice and impressive wins over the last several games. Currently at the best record in the association at 28-7. They're really hot right now, having won 4 of their last 5 games. I was really impressed with their effort against a Utah Jazz team that came in playing really hot basketball. But even though the Warriors were shorthanded without Draymond Green, who, by the way, is back from COVID protocol, they were able to come through with a really impressive win, and they're led by a couple of differentiating factors right now. Steph Curry, playing at an MVP level, continues to play lights-out basketball, and the depth of this Warriors team right now really does remind me of that first dynastic run that we saw several years ago when the Warriors really burst onto the scene when Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green were considered young players at that time. Now, the sample size has been very large for the squad so far this year, and Warriors World tweeting out this, and it's just information we have to pass along because it goes to show you how well the Dubs are playing. 5-1 versus the top 5 teams in the NBA. So they lost that first game against the Phoenix Suns on the road. Then since then, they've really been able to make some adjustments offensively and defensively, which has really boded well for them going up against some of the top teams in the association. And I think a big reason why the Warriors are at where they're at right now, of course they have the star-studded talent led by the aforementioned Steph Curry, but it's really the depth that is impressive. And that's without Klay Thompson and James Wiseman, who figure to come back at least some point soon. Of course, we'll talk about Klay Thompson here in just a few moments, but Kevon Looney, Andre Iguodala, Gary Payton II got a start the other night. Damian Lee is a really solid bench piece. Nemanja Bjelica, stretch big who can mix it up down low but also make it rain from deep. Juan Toscano Anderson, a very good glue guy. Otto Porter having a good resurgent season for his respective NBA career. Then the 2 rookies at times this year have been impressive as well in Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. And what I like is all of those players, all of those names, a different blend of talent and a different blend of bench pieces. So depending on the opposing lineups that the Warriors go up against, Steve Kerr has a lot of different lineup kind of changes that he can make at his disposal. So I want to test you with this question, Dub Nation. Which team's bench is better? Let's say 2015 against 2022. You let me know right now. Type 15 for that 15 squad that won a title. Type 2022 for the squad that has the best record in the NBA this year. You let me know in the comment section down below. Klay Thompson, we thought he was going to come back before Christmas. We thought he was going to come back on Christmas. At some point soon, this guy is going to return, and when he does, man, this Warriors team is going to be very dangerous. Anthony Slater covers Golden State for The Athletic and thought he made a good point saying this on Twitter to kick off the new year. The Warriors won in Phoenix against a fully stocked Suns team on Christmas without Wiggins and Poole. They beat a fully stocked Jazz team in Utah without Draymond Green, 28-7, and Klay Thompson's return is, quote, very close. Now, I'm really excited to see Klay Thompson back on the court. This guy is a phenomenal player, and everybody becomes infatuated with what he does on the offensive end of the floor. But really, it's that combined with what he's been able to do throughout his NBA career on the defensive end of the floor that makes him a high-tier impact player. Now, I'm wondering what Klay's role is going to be on the team. Steve Kerr did talk about that recently, and we'll explore that coming up, but Steve Kerr hinting that Klay Thompson going to be inserted into that starting lineup. So who then goes to the bench? Could it be Andrew Wiggins, who a lot of his teammates are saying should be in Cleveland for the All-Star game this year? Could it be Jordan Poole? My answer to that coming up in just a few moments. But I do want to give a shout out to today's presenting sponsor, BetUS, for making today's show possible. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and enter the promo code chat125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. Chase, what does that mean? You put in $100, and by using that link and that promo code, you get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with. You can bet on NFL games. You can bet on NBA games or some Warriors prop bets. We have a couple for you at our disposal and your disposal now if you sign up using that link and promo code down below. Jordan Poole, most improved player, 25-1 odds. Warriors to win the NBA championship, plus 350. Get your bets in right now. Some good value on the site if you use that link and that promo code down below. As for what Steve Kerr had to say about Klay's role, he's pretty definitive in what is expected of Klay Thompson when he does come back after the consecutive ACL and Achilles tears. Quote from Steve, "Klay's going to start when he comes back. I'm not going to mess around, bring him off the bench for a period of time. I'm not doing any of that. He's going to start." Now, my question in response to what Steve Kerr said there, who then goes to the bench? Because you've had a starting lineup so far this year that has consisted of Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, of course, when all these guys are healthy, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. One of these guys has to go to the bench. Could it be Kevon Looney going to the bench? Then Draymond takes up that 5 spot. Could it be Andrew Wiggins? Probably not, because you love what he gives you on both ends of the floor, especially as hybrid defensively. That's why I think that it could be Jordan Poole going to the bench to give a kickstart to that bench unit as the go-to scorer when Steph and or Klay are not on the floor. I think that's the prediction that I'm making as far as what Steve Kerr is going to do, because you have to have Klay Thompson in this starting lineup. This is a peek at what he was able to do when he was at the peak of his powers. 2014 to 2019, almost 22 points per game, 47% from the floor, 42+% from beyond the arc, and the free throw percentage a shade under 86%. Now, Klay Thompson has said, coming off of these injuries, his big goal to be a 50-40-90 guy. What does that mean? 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the charity stripe. He's never done that. Of course, he came close, especially during this several-year sample size, something for Klay Thompson to shoot toward. This is what we know about Klay. Not sure what he's going to look like coming off that injury. Of course, in practice the other day, he knocked down like 25 consecutive threes, just making it rain. He's a generational talent, man, and this guy is so special. And it's crazy to think that the Warriors have been playing this well without the services of both him and James Wiseman. These are reinforcements who are going to come back for Golden State and make them even better. So then they're 5-1 against some of the top teams in the NBA. How well will they fare with Klay and James Wiseman coming back? Hey, we're going to continue to break it down here on the channel. That is why you subscribe. Should Klay start as soon as he gets back? That's my last question for the audience before we get on out of here on this beautiful Monday. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Happy New Year, Dub Nation. Hey, it's going to be a great year for the Golden State Warriors and a great year for us here on Warriors Today.